The one who taught us.
Brahmarupananda Sarvabhasakam Bhavashatkayena Rupanitya Satyamadvayam Vangmanoti Gocharam Cha Neti Neti Bhavitam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Mishwaram Aditeya Bhivaram Surari Daityanashakam Sadhu Shishta Kamadam Mahi Subharaharakam Atmarupatatvakam Yuge Yuge Chadarshitam Namami Deva Deva Krishna Mishwaram Uta Sarga Karma Sutra Bandhakaranam Jnana Karma Taratamya Sadhanam Buddhivasa Sakshi Rupa Sarvakarma Bhasakam Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Mishwaram Sarvajiva Papanashakaranam Bhaveshwaram Svikritam Jagarbhavam Dihapashamidrisham Svalilaya Chayana Vyajivanam Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Mishwaram Loshtakancanam Cha Eyaneyadegatam Srisho Nityamatruram Bhavabhavukam Jnana Bhakti Bhukti Mukti Shuddha Buddhi Dayakam Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Mishwaram Mula Satya Tattva Deshakam Pradaya Sampradaya Varjitam Sarvashastra Sarvinirakṣaram Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Mishwaram Darshakalika Sughi Charudayakam Nishu Matavacha Deshadayakam Shokatapawarakam Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Miswaram Saukyadayakam Sunu Nitya Vittavardakam Dam Vidarpadarunam Jagadgurum Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Miswaram Varshabala Bhava Yuktagam Sarupinam Bhavabhi Janam Saukhya Sadmajiva Janma Bhiti Nashakam Tam Namami Deva Deva Rama Krishna Miswaram Anavarakam Adharma Karma Dharma Charanam Cha Sarva Dharma Kovidam Jnana Yanitya Pavanangri Pankajam Tam Namami Deva Deva Ram Krishna Mishwaram Stotrashunyasomagam Sadesha Bhava Vyanjakam Nitya Pathakasya Vaipati Punjanashakam Ijapayaga Bhoga Saulabham Tam Namam Krishna Raga Bhakti Bhavanam Labantum Krishna Raga Bhakti Bhavanam Labantu Rama Krishna Bhakti Bhavanam Achitam Bhakti Sadakam Stavarajam Samaptam Vai Shri Rama Krishna Tunakam. Very nice. Nice. Composed by Virajanandiji Maharaj.
You introduced this song to us.
Very nice. Yeah, very pleasing.
That's how we
So let us begin with the same prayer as this morning. Om Bhadram Karne Vishrunayama Deva Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryadatraha स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वागं सस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. The morning we studied Ashtavakra's answer to Janaka's question. First instruction in response to Janaka's question, Katham muktir bhavishyati, how can we achieve liberation? How can we achieve jnana and vairagya? So the first requirement is, if you want liberation, Ashtavakra says to Janaka, mukti michasi chet, tata. Tata means say, dear person, if you wish to have liberation, moksha, from all, freedom from all suffering, limitation, permanent, and freedom from the cycle of birth and death, and self-knowledge, bringing infinite, eternal, indescribable peace and joy. How to get that one? If you want that one, first thing we have to do is to give up attachment to sense objects. Vishayad mishavatyaja. He says, give up sense objects as if they are poison. Attachment you have to give. Sense objects, all of them we cannot give. Some of them, unnecessary things we have to give up. Unnecessary sense objects. People accumulate so many things which can never be used. Simply accumulating things just because having those things they think will bring happiness. Possession, collecting various things, stamp collecting, coin collecting, car collecting, collecting cars. And these are, Jay Leno has 100, 200 cars and 300 motorcycles, something like that. These are not ordinary Toyota Corolla. These are all antique, very expensive cars. Keeping them, possession, that brings him happiness. That kind of attachment, acquisition, possession of sense objects, hoping to get happiness from them, that is not good. If you want liberation, you have to give up. One car is enough, maybe 2 cars necessary, 3, okay. These are collection, not for use. For driving, they use something else. Anyway, that's a different matter. Vishayan Vishavatteja. In the second part of that answer, in the second shloka, 5 more instructions are given. These are things to do. First instruction was things to give up, sense objects, attachment, give up. Now, 5 more things to actually practice, to do, positive. They are Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam, Piyushavad Bhaja. Piyusha means Amrita, immortality. If you want liberation, then practice Kshama. Kshama, Daya, Arjava, Tosha, Daya, Satyam. Daya. Then let us take one by one. Kshama means, the word Kshama comes several times in the Gita. Kshama means, it can either mean forgiveness or forbearance or endurance, one of these things. Forbearance, ability to bear all kinds of problems when they come with equanimity, without complaining, without lamenting. Kshama, forbearance, ability to bear things. Forgiveness. So in Gita, when this word Kshama comes in the 10th chapter, they are commenting, explaining this word Kshama. Shankaracharya explains it this way. Akristasya taditasya va avikarta chittata. or Krishna means when somebody gives us trouble. Tadita, when somebody beats us. Tadana means to beat. Even when those things happen, avikrita chittata. Vikara means transformation, change, changing our mind. Happiness changing to unhappiness. All those vikara, chitta vikara. Becoming angry, sad, depressed, jealous. These are all vikaras. Avikrita chittata means remaining calmly without being perturbed by them. Remaining unperturbed, even when some difficulty comes. Other people give us trouble or some other problem comes. Now, how long can we do this one? For some time we can ignore what people do. But if they keep on giving you trouble, you know that you are not going to react. So they give more trouble. And this is not good. We should not become a doormat. Let everybody take advantage of us. Not like that one. When necessary, we have to react. You can say up to some point we can tolerate and let things happen. But if a person creates too much trouble, then at some point we should stand up and say, hey, stop this far and no more. You have to stand up for what is right, for your right. But this has to be done without anger or hatred, firmly, with firmness, but without hatred or anger. That ability one has to have. Otherwise, kshama can be misused, can be misinterpreted as weakness. One has to be strong. Without strength, one cannot progress in either worldly life or make any progress in spiritual life also. Upanishad says a weak person cannot achieve Brahman. Nayamatma balahine nalabhyaha. One not to be strong. Moral strength, mental strength, emotional strength must be there. Physical strength must be there. But physical strength is going to deteriorate with age. Very strong people who can lift 1,500 pounds, power lifters and bodybuilders, they also, their body become old and weak. Actually, the bodybuilders, they don't live long. They die early because they abuse their body. They take so much drugs to enhance the muscles growth, muscle size and strength. These drugs are very harmful. They destroy the liver, kidney, and heart and other organs. Anyway, that's a different story. Balam, physical strength is necessary, but more than that, mental strength, moral strength, emotional strength must be there. Balam, balavata masmi, kamaraga vivarjitam. In the 7th chapter, shloka number 11, 7:11, easy to remember. There, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Balam balavata masmi kamaraga vivarjitam. Bala must be there, but that bala must be not brute strength. If that brute strength is combined with anger and other bad qualities, it will be destructive. It destroys other people, gives trouble to other people, destroys oneself. Not that kind of strength. Kamaraga vivarjitam balam. Strength combined with free from kamaraga, free from unreasonable desire, lust, and attachment. That is strength is necessary. With the strength, one has to practice forbearance, forgiveness, forgive also. Only a strong person can forgive. A weak person cannot forgive. Weak person has no choice. He says, if I forgive, that does not mean anything. A weak person, just like a beggar saying, I'm renouncing everything. He doesn't have anything to renounce. One must have strength, and then only one can forgive or forbear. That is forgiveness. Then that means, if difficulties come, either from other people, outside sources, or one's own body, or some other problem comes, then how long should we forgive? How to keep on forgiving? What we should do? Should we silently suffer? Not necessary. three things are to be done. Three things we all have to do. First thing is to prevent any kind of problem. Forbearance will come, but to prevent is better. To take preventive measures, foreseeing some difficulty problem and trying to prevent it, avoid it. Preventive measures, such as following the rules of health. We don't want to become sick. Therefore, we try not to become sick by following the rules of health. Moderate exercise, moderate food and sleep, and all these things we have to. And that is a preventive measure. And also by health insurance, in case you become sick, you have some recourse. And to prevent problem from burglars, you have to install security system, all the preventive measures. In case some problem comes, this avoid it, prevent it. In spite of taking preventive measures, still difficulties come. In spite of following rules of health, still people become sick. Then what you have to do? Take remedial measures. Remedy. What can be prevented? If a problem comes, then see what remedial measure can be taken. If you become sick, we go to doctor, take medical care, medical help, things like that. If plumbing gets a problem, then call the plumber, like that. Remedial measure, whatever you can do to remedy it. After taking all remedial measures, still problem may persist, a new problem may come. Then what happens? Third thing is to practice kshama. That's where kshama comes into place. Forbearance, forgiveness, endurance. After taking preventive remedial measures, what cannot be prevented, remedied, then you have to practice. I have done my best, then I have to bear whatever is there. That cannot be remedied. That is practice of kshama. Then in the Gita, Sri Krishna says something very interesting. The 10th chapter, Sri Krishna says, women have this kshama more than other people. Men, human have more ability to bear pain. Little bit pain comes, we cannot bear, but women have much more capacity to bear pain, much more capacity to forgive and forbear and endure. He says this in the Gita, 10th chapter, sloka number 34. There he says, Kirtishrir Vakchanarinam Smritir Meda Dhritikshama. For women, these are special quality. They have in a greater measure. Kirti, fame, Shri, wealth, prosperity, walk, speech, very fluent. The speech, they can be very effective. Shri, walk, Narindam, Smriti. Their memory is very powerful. They don't forget things easily. Smriti, Medha, very intelligent. Women are very intelligent. Dhriti means steadiness, not giving up things easily. Some obstacle come, people easily give up. No, they will not. The persistence, perseverance, dhriti, kshama, forbearance. So this discipline of kshama, we have to practice. Devotees should have kshama. In describing the qualities of devotees, bhaktas, in the 12th chapter, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, 13th sloka, beginning the description of devotees until 19th sloka in chapter 12. Adveshta surabhutanam maitra karna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sukha kshami. Kshama is necessary for devotees. When to forgive and when to react. It depends. For people at the highest level of consciousness, they don't have any body consciousness. It doesn't matter what happens to body. They can forgive or forbear anything. Doesn't matter. But we have limits. People like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, Swami Vivekananda, how much pain he could bear, so much sickness, diabetes, all those things. Sri Ram Krishna, Holy Mother, they had much more ability to bear difficulties that came in their lives. that level we cannot reach. For us, we have to take, as I mentioned before, preventive measures, remedial measures, and then what remains cannot be solved, then we have to practice forbearance. So when the robber comes at night, if somebody tries to break into your house, you should not say, "Oh, God has come in the form of robber Narayana, please welcome, take all this property and my credit card, and my jewelry box, please come again." No, don't do that one. Preventive, take this security system must be there, alarm must be there, and if you come, call 911 immediately. This you have to do. Ordinary people have to take reaction, they have to react and take preventive remedial measures. But if robber comes to some people like Ramana Maharshi, they don't have anything to, they have no attachment. Some robbers actually came to Ramana Maharshi's ashrama once, early days, when only 2-3 disciples were staying with him and they didn't have anything in the Tiruvannamalai. Some whatever food they used to get by begging somebody bring something, with that they would satisfy. There is no other property, nothing to protect, no money, nothing. Only whatever they were wearing. Ramana Maharshi didn't have any clothes also, only one copy and long line cloth, and the only wardrobe he had, one piece of line cloth. So robbers came, they thought these people, Ramana Maharshi and disciples, they are actually having a lot of money, they have hidden it somewhere, stashed it somewhere, pretending to be poor people. So they demanded money, the robbers. They said, "We don't have any money. You can search. What we have is what you see here, some parts and pants and clothes." But they didn't believe the robber. They brought sticks and started beating. Ramana Maharshi also was bit once disabled. But Ramana Maharshi said, "We showed the other side, you can beat me here also. Can you do like that?" No, not for us. This is not for us. We have to protect. In the Bible, it says, "Whoso your soul smite thee on thy right cheek, show him thy left," like that one. That's not for ordinary people. That's for people at the highest level. Like Gajanan Maharaj, there was a great Avadhuta in Maharashtra, Shegam. Shegam, the town, Maharashtra, there was Avadhuta lived there. The ashrama is still there. It is not so long ago. Recently, I went to that ashrama. He was Avadhuta. That means nobody can. People, his detractors tried to give him trouble. They thought he was a fake, pretending to be Avadhuta. No, they gave so much trouble. Nothing bothered him. One day they sent some thugs with stakes. They gave some money. Some thugs go and beat that Avadhuta, see if he's really Avadhuta or what. The people, the poor people, they wanted some money. They went and started beating him. Nothing happened. They kept on beating him. He was simply smoking with chillam, joyfully smiling. They were beating. They became tired. The sticks broke. Nothing happened. Then they understood he's a genuine Avadhuta. They bowed down to him and begged forgiveness. We can't be like that. We are not at that level. We are ordinary people with body consciousness, and we have things to protect. Ashram also you have to protect. Though we are not supposed to have anything, but the property ashrama is there, guest house is there, our computers are there, donation people give, we have there. Without it, we can't function in an ashrama. If we're wandering monk, we don't have any money, nothing to protect. Then the robbers won't even come near me. They know I don't have anything. So we have alarm system in our ashrama, we have to protect. So that is how we have to practice kshama. Preventive measure, remedial measure, then whatever remains cannot be remedied, forbearance, practice titiksha. That is first instruction, kshama. Then 4 more instructions Ashtavakra gives. Kshama arjavam. Arjavam comes 3-4 times in the Gita. Arjavam means straightforwardness, sincerity, straightforwardness, uprightness. Arjavam means what we think in our minds must be same as what we say in words. That must be same as what is shown in action. Transparent personality. What I think must be same as what I say, must be same as what I do. If I think something and say something else very pleasing to please somebody and do something entirely different, then I'm a crooked, being a crooked person. That will not give us liberation. You should be straightforward, honest, sincere. What I say must be same as what I think, must be same as what I do. Three instruments, mind, speech, and action must be all same. Straightforwardness, uprightness, a transparent personality. These are very important qualities for a seeker of self-knowledge, for seeker of devotion. These for all people. These instructions are for all spiritual seekers, whether you're following the path of Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga or whatever, Jnana Yoga, any yoga you do, these 5-6 things are very important. Common instructions. So, Arjavam, straightforwardness. In the Bhagavad Gita, describing the austerities of body, in the 17th chapter, there are 3 shlokas are there. 14, 15, 16. There, Bhagavan described 3 kinds of tapas, 3 kinds of tapas, austerities. Austerities pertain to body, shariram tapaha. Austerities pertain to speech, vagmayam tapaha. And austerities pertaining to mind, manasam tapaha. They are describing the austerities of body. He says, Deva Dvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam. These are all austerities you have to practice. Worshipping God and wise people, spiritual people, leaders, we have to worship them. Purity, Shaucham, Arjam, straightforward. This is very important discipline. So, Kshama, Arjava, 2 things. Then, third quality that you have to practice is Kshamarjo Daya. Daya means compassion. Very important quality. Again, compassion should not be mistaken for weakness. Person must be strong. Then still he must be compassionate. That is true compassion. A weak person cannot do anything. He says, I'm compassionate. That means does not anything. Just like a beggar announcing, I've given up everything. And he doesn't have anything to give up. Daya means compassion, kindness. This is one of the divine qualities. In the Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna describes Daya as a Daivi Sampat. In the 16th chapter, Sri Krishna described 2 sets of qualities, Daivi Sampat, Asuri Sampat. In the first 3 shlokas, chapter 16, a number of divine qualities are described. Among them, Daya also comes, compassion. Daya. Daya, Kamarjava, Daya. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a story. God had, Prajapati had 3 kinds of disciples. Human beings, gods, human beings, and demons. Three students went to them. And they asked for instruction. Human being, a god, like Indra, Varuna, Yama, and Rakshasa. 3 of them went to Prajapati and requested, sir, please give us instruction. Prajapati said only 1 letter, da. He said it 3 times, da. That's all. Just like the thunder, da, like that in the rainy season. Da. Kept quiet. Prajapati. Then he asked, did you understand? They nodded their head. Human being said, yes, I understood. What did he say? By da, he said, you asked us to practice charity, dana, because people are generally greedy. They want to keep on accumulating things, don't want to give anything. He said, daya means, human being said, you meant by da, you meant that we have to practice this charity, dana. Did he understood? He said, yes. Then Prajapati asked one of the gods, what did you understand when I said da? I understood. What did you understand? God says, when you said the, you asked us to practice self-control, dhamma, because gods have tendency to enjoy. They have done good deeds, they are enjoying, so they want to keep on enjoying, no self-control. So he understood, he wants us to practice self-control, dhamma, controlling sense organ. That's what you said, sir. From Prajapati said, okay, you understood, you go. Then finally, Rakshasa student was asked, what did you understand? I said, the. Did you understand? Yes, sir. What did you understand? When you said the, you practice us to practice, you asked us to practice daya, compassion, because Rakshasas are by nature cruelty. So he understood, when he said the, he meant that I should practice daya. Da means daya for Rakshasa, da means daya for charity, dana for human beings. That means dhamma, self-control for gods who are given to enjoying too much. So daya comes there in the Brahmarupananda version. All these three things we have to practice. Daya, compassion. Compassion especially towards animals and weak people. If a strong person comes, you cannot do anything with him. He will take care of himself. But if an animal is there, if you beat it, what will you do? It is helpless. We should be very compassionate towards animals and plants. Unnecessarily killing trees, destroying the forest, no, should not be done. That is Kshama, Arjava, Daya. 3. Fourth thing that Ashtavakra says is Tosha. Tosha or Santosha means contentment. Contentment is opposite of greed. Greedy for more. No matter how much a person has, some people are not satisfied. Some are satisfied, many are not. They want more and more. There is no end to greed. That's why Nachiketa said to Yama, Navittena tarpaniyo manushyaha. A human being, no matter how much money you give, he wants more money. Some people are like that, never satisfied. So we should practice contentment. This much is enough, plus a little bit more, and then no more. When need turns into greed, that is a very subtle decision each person has to make. It's different for different people. How much do I need? For now, maybe a little bit more extra for saving. Unfortunately, householders have to save. Sannyas should not even keep anything, no question of saving. But householders have to save because they have family responsibilities, children growing up. Some people may become sick in the family, children's education, you have to provide something. That is up to some point it is necessary. You have to start a bank account for college tuition when the child is born. Because by the time the child goes to college, so much tuition will have increased. Those things are okay for a householder, not for sannyasis. Those means contentment, tripti, contentment. Then a person who has contentment is always happy, no matter how little he has or how much he has. Contentment, tosha, is not a function of how much we have. A person can have a lot of money and so much property, still he may not be content. No happiness, greedy. A person may not have much moderate income, he may be content, he is happy. Contentment brings happiness. Greed makes a person unhappy, and greed can kill also. Very bad quality. Opposite of greed is contentment, tosha. Then describing the qualities of a yogi and a devotee, Sri Krishna mentions tosha. 12th chapter. Santushtas satatam yogi yatatma dridhanishtayaha. Like that one. Santosha, contentment is a virtue that we all have to practice. Should not become greedy. Patanjali says, if a person is content, is always happy, does not matter how much or how little he has. He says, Santoshad Anuttama Sukhalabha. Unsurpassable joy sukha comes by practicing contentment. Even if you are not very much, little bit is there. If you are happy, you are happy. That is a very good virtue. So that we have to practice. Ashtavakra's instruction. Kshama, Arjavadaya, Tosha. Then, same thing about enjoyment, contentment. At some point, we should say, I have enjoyed enough. Now it is time to practice equanimity and renunciation. Otherwise, if you keep on enjoying, at some point, the pleasure becomes less and less and does not completely disappear. Yayati story. It's a long story, but the summary is he was a king and he went on enjoying pleasures that only a king can afford. And he made some big error in his life. Yet Yayati is a king. He had promised his wife that he will not take any other wife. Those days kings could have more wives. He said, you will be the only wife, I will not take anybody else. That wife promise he made, okay. Then after some time, he fell in love with somebody and married a second lady. The first wife became unhappy. He promised me. And then his first wife's father also became unhappy. And he cursed the Yayati, father-in-law. Should not make a father-in-law unhappy. He will curse. So the curse was, Yayati, he was cursed by father-in-law. You will lose your youth and you will become an old man. So Yayati suddenly was a young person, became an old person. Body became old. But you still, in mind, he is young. Lot of desires to enjoy. Desires will be there. So I wanted to enjoy more. Then he goes and seeks forgiveness. Begs his father-in-law, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You please forgive me. And father-in-law says, okay, I cannot withdraw the curse, but I can do one thing. If you find somebody in your kingdom who can take your old age and give you his youth, then I will make it possible to transfer. Find somebody in your kingdom, young person. Yati said, oh, I have so many people I can bring, young people to exchange their youth with my old age. So go and bring one. So Yati goes back to his kingdom and announces, I want one young person. I will give half the kingdom. I will give, and you must give your youth and take my old age. Nobody came. He thought there will be a long line in front of the palace next morning. No one showed up. Half the kingdom. Still no young man wanted to exchange his youth and become old man. If you're old man, what kingdom can you enjoy? Say no, thanks. Then he had 3-4 sons. He goes to first son. Son, can you give your youth and take my old age? I'll give you a half kingdom. And the son said, no, I will get the kingdom anyhow when you die. Why should I use my youth? Your problem. You got into it, you got out of it, Dad, I can't. Same thing, second, same thing, third son. Fourth son, he was different. Yes, your father, if you want my youth, I will give you. I don't want any kingdom. You give it to my brothers. I will take your old age. You take my youth. So Yayati's father-in-law arranged the ceremony. Yayati became a young man again. His son became an old man. He walked away. He was not interested in kingdom. I think Yayati began enjoying with renewed zeal all the pleasures that only a king can enjoy. Another went on. But how long? Again, he became old. Body becomes old. So after enjoying a lot of pleasure only that a king can afford for a very long time, than any other human being can, still desires did not go away. No contentment, tripti did not come. He could not say, I've enjoyed enough, I don't want any more. That didn't come. Santosha did not come. Still desire was there, as strong as in the beginning. So being a thoughtful person, he says to his wife, see, I was thinking that I can become free from desire by enjoying. No, the more I enjoy, stronger the desire becomes. By enjoying, desires will not go away. You have to conquer desire by other means, by devotion, by vichara, by prayer. We have to overcome desire, not by fulfilling them. If you fulfill the desire, it will become stronger desire. It will not go away. So he says to his wife, Najata kama kama nam upabhogena shamyate. Upabhoga means enjoyment. Kama, desire. Desire, if desire comes to eat something sweet, and you eat sweet, it will not go away. Next day you have to eat more sweet. To get the same degree of satisfaction, you have to do more. That's how addiction grows. You drink 1 can of Coke today, and you think desire to drink Coke will go away. Next day you will have to drink more than 1 can, 2 cans to get the same degree of satisfaction. Then it goes on. Next day you have to even more. So addiction comes. So enjoyment is not a solution. Practice of contentment, vichara. This kind of enjoyment is not true happiness. It only depletes the body, sense organs, waste of time, and contentment will not come. Instead of this, I should practice contentment, tosha, santosha, be happy with what I have, and not be greedy for more enjoyment, for more property, more possession. That practice is called santosha. That is the next one. Kshamadvadaya tosha. Next one is satyam, 5th one. Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam. 5th one is most important thing. One most discipline, if you ask, what is one thing that we all have to follow, whether we are interested in spiritual life or not, that is Satyam. Satyam is truthfulness, is extolled in all the scriptures by all the teachers. Sri Ramakrishna said, for Kali Yuga, truthfulness alone is tapasya, austerity. Without Satyam, no matter how much japa you do, meditation you do, will not be fruitful. Truthfulness must be there. Telling lies is absolutely bad. And he himself followed it very, very strictly, Sri Ramakrishna. Truthfulness includes, Satyam includes keeping the word. If you say you do something, you must follow it up by action. Simply saying and forgetting about it will not. That's not Satyam. Telling the truth as it is and keeping one's word. These are all important qualities. In many of the Upanishads, the virtue of Satyam has been highly prized. That one discipline we have to, everybody has to, not only people seeking spiritual progress, even people doing ordinary or worldly life, they also have to practice truth. They have to practice truthfulness. Sri Ramakrishna said, even those people who are doing something like business for a living, they must also practice truthfulness. But for what we see in the world today all around, only a Satyam. Everywhere you find people telling lies and lies to gain power. That's not good. Destructive. Life will be destroyed if we don't follow Satyam very scrupulously. Truthfulness alone is spiritual discipline for Kali Yuga. He said it many times in the Gospel. Satyameva jagate nandritam Upanishad says. So that was the last instruction. Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam, Piyushavad Bhaja. Sri Ramakrishna was very particular. He went to see Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. And during the conversation, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, a famous educationist, philanthropist, and he said to Sri Ramakrishna, I will come and visit you in Dakshineshwar. But after a long time, he didn't go to Dakshineshwar, did not visit Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna pointed out again, see, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar said he will come and visit me here in Dakshineshwar. He has never come so far. He is a very good person, helping other people, philanthropist, educationist, but he has to keep his word. And then there was another devotee, Shivanath, great devotee. Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of him. Shivanath was a very great devotee. And he also, once he said he will do something, and he did not follow it up. Sri Ramakrishna pointed out. He said, if you not said he will do something, he has not done. So, keeping one's word is an important aspect of truthfulness. Satyam. Satyam jayate nandatam. Satyena pantha vitato devayanaha. The path to God realization is supported by Satyam. Without following truthfulness, you can't reach God. No matter how much tapasya we do, other austerities we do, this one important thing that is very, very important for everybody. So that is the fifth instruction. Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Satyam, Tosha, Satyam, Piyushavad Bhaja. Then that is the instruction that Ashtavakra gave in response to Janaka's question. How to achieve liberation, how to get jnana, how to get vairagya. And afterwards, he continues the instruction. Ashtavakra's instruction is only one thing. What Advaita Vedanta says, you are not the embodiment, you are the Atman. You are the Sakshi. You're not the doer, you're not the enjoyer, you're not the body, you're not sense organs. No. Same as what Shankaracharya says in the famous Nirvana Shatkam, which many of you know. Shankara says, I am not the body, mind, sense organs. Mano buddhyahankara chitta ninakam nacha shrotra jikve nacha grana netre. That Nirvana Shatkam. Exactly that is what Ashtavakra said to Janaka, what Advaita Vedanta says. Then he continues, we will, let me chant one more sloka, the next third sloka in Ashtavakra Samhita, sloka number 3, chapter 1. He says, Na prithvi na jalam na agnir na vayur dyur na va bhavan esham sakshinam atmanam Chidrupam vidhi muktaye. Muktaye means for liberation. If you want to achieve liberation, then you should know, you should be convinced that you are not the 5 elements. Prithvi, earth, jalam, water, agni, fire, vayu, air, akasha, space. There are none of these things. These are all 5 elements of which everything is made. Body is made of 5 elements. You are not that one. You are none of these things. Muktaye, in order to achieve liberation, you have to be convinced that the self, you are the self, the witness, the sakshi of all these things. These are all objects. All the 5 elements are objects. Object means something that I can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Anything that I can even think about is an object. May not be a tangible thing. Intangible things that I can simply think about abstractly are also objects, objects of thought. So I'm not that one. I'm the subject. I'm the eternal witness. I'm the sakshi, witnessing consciousness. So that is continuous teaching in this Ashtavakra Samhita. And then one more sloka number 4 in chapter 1, he says, Edideham pratakritya chiti vishramya tishtasi aduneva sukhi shanto bandhamukta bhavishyasi. If you detach yourself from the body and rest in consciousness, deham pratakritya. Pratak means separating. I think I am the body. Most people, most of the time, we think we are the body. What happens to the body happens to me. If the body is sick, I am sick. Mind is also part of body, sukshma sharira. If mind becomes unhappy, I am unhappy. Somebody blames me, I am unhappy. Somebody praises me, I am happy. So you are not the body mind. Pratakritya, separating from the Atman. Deham. Deham means sukshma sharira, sthula sharira, everything. Body, mind, everything. Separating it. Chiti, in your mind. Vishramya tishtasi. Rest in consciousness. Vichiti, chiti, tishtasi, visramyam. Rest in consciousness, not resting in the objective world. We can't find any peace and rest in property, possession, family, children. They bring happiness, they bring grief. We don't know what happens when. Adunaiva Sakhi Shanto Bandhamukta Bhavi. Adunaiva means right now does not take much. The moment you practice detachment from body, mind, sense organ, sense objects, no triti or the Atman, that moment you are free. You are immersed in indescribable peace and life. So that is the continuation of Ashtavakra teaching, rest of the book. Only one instruction. You are not the embodiment, you are the Atman. So we'll stop here. The first, second shloka containing 6 instructions. That is the one that can be put into practice now. I'm not the embodiment is a long-term project. If I simply said you will not do, practicing it is an all lifelong discipline. But the 5-6 things, Samarjvadya, Tosha, Satyam, that we practice this moment onwards, every moment. There's no delay in that one. Now we can practice. Important instruction. Giving up attachment to sense objects and practicing these 5 disciplines. This has to start, should have started this moment onwards. Rest of the life, you do these 6 things. So we'll stop here. We have some time for questions and before we conclude. No question means everything was so completely clear. Oh, here is a question.
So,
Everything was not clear.
no, everything was clear. It's a different problem. Ashtavakra was Nitya Siddha. So, because he turned out, because of Janaka's curse, but his father, he went to Janaka. And Janaka, I think you told me that after a few questions, Janaka understood that he was very learned and he became his student. But was it Janaka from before? Janaka was famous, Rajarshi, who was a king and a Brahmagya both ways. So why would Janaka ask for lessons from Ashtavakra?
The conversation between 2 giants,
Okay.
both of them are Brahmagyani. It is for Loka Sangra, for benefit of other people. Like Krishna's instruction to Arjuna, not only for Arjuna, it's for all mankind, like that one. That's one way we can understand it. Otherwise, we would not have the conversation. We would not. If Janaka understood Ashtavakra as Brahmagyani, then no question, what Brahmagyani, what does he need? What question does he have? Then there will be, this book would not be there. And we would be not having this Ashtavakra Samhita. So for Loka Sangraha, these things have this conversation.
And is there a past of Ashtavakra? Was he accursed from somewhere else? Why,
Father, Ashtavakra was born with deformities because of his father's curse. Father became angry because father was doing the Vedic chanting with some mistakes, and the unborn baby Ashtavakra still in mother's womb. He pointed out to his father, "Father, you are making so many mistakes in your Vedic chanting. The boy is not even born, he is in the mother's womb." From there he cried out. And father became upset, angry. "You are not even born, you are trying to correct me." So he cursed him. And then later on, when Ashtavakra went to Janaka and defeated the scholar, visiting scholar one day in debate, and he asked Janaka, Ashtavakra asked Janaka, "See, my father, you banished him because you were defeated in debate. Please forgive him." So he brought him back. So he saved his father from his curse and brought him back. There's a story part of that one.
The problem is for Nitya Siddha, he didn't have to take a birth at the first place. He's a he's a realized soul. He didn't have to come, he didn't have to have a Punanda.
No.
But so
They take birth for but not driven by their karma.
Yeah.
Their birth, Ishvara Kotis and incarnation, they are not born to work out karma. Your jivas are born to work out our karma. Your desires and good and bad deeds, we have done, we have to go through them. So we are born again and again, life after life, birth. But Ishvara Kotis and great Mahatmas like Ashtavakra, their birth is not occasioned by their karma. They just take birth for Loka Sangraha. Their whole life is dedicated. For like Swamiji Vivekananda, why was he born? He was born only to help mankind, Loka Sangraha. His whole life was only to serve other people. So like that one.
Ashtavakra ever get his body gets right?
Hmm?
Is that right? Did his body get
No, straightened. Oh, then when he brings his father back, with Janaka's permission, father became pleased and he withdraws his curse and he became straight, a very handsome young man. Then he so we should not displease other people. Ayati displeased his father-in-law, lost his youth. Ashtavakra, the unborn baby, made his father angry. He was born with deformity, so be careful not to upset anybody. Keep everybody.
another very difficult one was when Shiva displeased Sati, the Daksha Prajapati. Remember?
Yeah.
Sati was
And that he had to suffer.
such a bad.
So
But that was ego, of course.
yeah, we should not make anybody angry. Say nice things to people, keep them happy.
Especially foreign dogs.
And this is story part of that one.
So in that point that you mentioned about transparency, you have to be, the thoughts, the words and the actions, they have to be the same. Sometimes if you speak that whatever is in our mind, it might displease someone, right?
If you say
Yeah.
whatever is in your mind, outspoken, then some people will not like it. But sometimes you have to be outspoken. We should not hide the truth simply to please somebody. We should tell the truth, but in a nice way, not to upset other people. But if it has to be told, it has to be told. The question was, if you tell the truth, people become upset. Then what to do? So truth has to be told if it is necessary. Even if the person becomes unhappy, if it is necessary. If not necessary, you don't have to tell. Satyam bruyat priyam bruyat, na bruyat satyam apriyam. Even if it is satyam, if it is apriyam, then only if it is not need, don't need to tell, don't tell. Necessary to tell, you have to sometimes you have to tell unpleasant truth. It becomes a necessity. The example comes to my mind is the doctor. If the doctor orders a lab test, lab report comes and it shows the patient has some serious health problem, then you have to tell him. Otherwise, the patient will not know. So unpleasant news, painful news, but you have to tell the patient that this problem is there, you have to take this treatment, it is a difficult disease. So sometimes it becomes necessary to, if a child does something wrong, the mother has to point out. Just to keep the child happy, if the mother does not point out the mistake child, then the child will not learn. So sometimes it becomes necessary to tell the truth, even if it upsets the person. If it is necessary in the interest of that person, you have to disclose the truth. Otherwise, we don't have to tell him. If somebody has an ugly face, the truth, you don't have to tell him you have an ugly face.
Yeah.
So it's truth, but why tell it? He already knows poor man is suffering. So then we have to use discretion. Is it necessary to tell? Like that one.
There is shloka that says right place, right time.
Right place and right time to do anything. Speech also, especially speech. Tomorrow this topic will come. We should be very careful about what we speak. Otherwise, you will get in trouble and will create trouble for other people also. So control of speech is very important discipline. First discipline is spiritual life. Tomorrow's topic is first steps in yoga. This comes very first. Vang Nirodha. Shankaracharya says, Vivekachudamani. Many steps have to be taken to achieve God realization. The first thing we have to take in the spiritual life is to control speech. Vang Nirodha. Saying everything that comes to the mind and unnecessary, relevant, irrelevant, timely, untimely, very bad. Control our speech. We will study that tomorrow.
Way back in the lesson about something else, you were saying it is said that in order to make a statement, it has to have you should know who you are talking to, it should have a context, it should be necessary. Those rules.
Relevant, timely.
And time.
Time must at the right time. If you say the right thing at the wrong time, then also it will not be good.
Yes.
So, okay, let us conclude with prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy. May all be free from ill health and other problems. May all realize and practice what is noble, dharmic and auspicious. May no one be subject to misery, suffering. Om, peace. May there be peace in our hearts. Adhyatmika Shanti. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. No ill will, no hatred among beings. Adi Bhautika Shanti. And may there be peace everywhere in nature. Adi Daivika Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Tomorrow we'll start at 11:30. Sunday talk. And the topic will be first steps towards yoga. Good.
Sunday 11. Tomorrow is at 11.
Okay. 11 o'clock.
No.
Oh, not 11:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow. Sorry. 11 o'clock tomorrow, Sunday.